Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today we are going to talk about why it truly is so important for you to start realizing that you don't have to know every single little thing in order to just take that first step. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any weekly episodes and posts. You can find video of this episode strictly on YouTube, but the audio everywhere else. Now, when it comes to just truly realizing that you don't have to know everything right then and there in order to just get started, this genuinely is one of the most important things you can do. Because I'll say 90% of the people out there, even including myself, will just go and try and perfect everything and learn everything before even going and taking that first step, having them just lose that motivation and potentially feel even lost because that's exactly what had happened with me. Because you see, in 2019, I actually went and made my very first business, which was a gaming team by the name of NXE Sports, to where me and a group of 6 to 7 guys would go on Xbox, PlayStation, and play for this platform called Collective Esports, where it would be streamed on Twitch and it would be streamed on YouTube, and we were genuinely starting to grow a following. We did that for about 2 years, and I was the co-owner. So I was marketing everything. I was doing the logos. I was doing Photoshop. I was doing different things like that. And I was really starting to get my real taste of entrepreneurship, having me just get hooked right from there. Because just like I said, at that time, I was doing the marketing, I was doing the Photoshop, all the different logos, and I was enjoying it, but I was at such a young age. So I was learning all these different things, and I really truly started to fall in love with that entrepreneurship. And we were doing this gaming stuff for quite a long time. We were moving up in the ranks, we were adding new people to rosters until one day we just all randomly woke up and decided that today was the day and that we just weren't going to do it anymore. And having that conversation and just really sitting down with each other, that genuinely just crushed all my hopes and dreams right then and there and just threw me down a pretty dark loop in my life. Because around that time, I was just turning 17 years old, and it's not like I spent my whole life on it, but starting something at 14, 15 years old, I mean, that literally is your whole world because, my free time, everything went into that. Not only was I playing video games that I loved, but I was making friendships, I was getting paid for it, so at that time, it was a dream. And when it all came crushing down, it crushed me entirely. And it's not like we didn't want to carry it on. It's not like all the guys were just like, no, I'm done. It was just life. Because mind you, I was the youngest. So some of these guys were 20, 23. Our oldest guy was 30. So he was having kids. These other guys were going to college and I was just still in high school. So there wasn't much I could do. So I decided to just try and make business after business. But the problem is because I was so scared of everything failing again or not trying to get it right the first time, I would then try and perfect everything and learn it beforehand, finding myself not even taking that first step. Because in all seriousness, a lot of the times that people don't truly strive for things or apply themselves isn't because they're not good enough or that it's not cut out for them. It's because they listen to that negativity and the what ifs, and they just always try and plan ahead of time or try and learn everything without even taking that first step. And doing that by listening to the negativity, trying to learn everything without going through that experience is just going to put up a wall between you and that end goal. Because how can you really grow and develop as a person if you haven't even started that thing yet? So how are you going to learn about entrepreneurship if you haven't even started to become an entrepreneur? How are you going to have a dream to be in the NFL if you haven't even started workouts yet? So you really have to start to take that first step before you go ahead and learn everything else. So, if you want to be an entrepreneur, a doctor, a professional gamer, an NFL player, a teacher, I mean, you name it, then you just truly have to start taking control over that negativity. Stop trying to plan for everything ahead. Stop trying to learn everything, even though it is good. It is good to prepare yourself, but stop trying to perfect it because the best experience that you are going to get is through the task at hand. It's not always going to be through books. It's not always going to be through websites. I promise you that you genuinely can make those dreams or goals come true because 4 years ago, I was living in the city, taking it day by day in a crash out mentality, just basically living 9 lives, doing whatever I could. But because I went and applied myself, because I changed my mentality and I took that first step, I stopped trying to learn everything beforehand and start letting it just the experience, letting the different things that I was going through have that be my education. I then was able to change my life. I was then able to make this podcast and now hopefully spread motivation and grow this as the years go on. So, moving forward, just go ahead and just take that first step. I get it. It can be scary. It's something new. You're going for a shot in the dark. I mean, I talked about it a couple episodes ago. I had no idea what I was doing when I started this podcast, but you can see the growth. The growth happens over time. You have to be open minded about these things. You have to manifest it. You have to look at that bigger picture. If you want something that bad in your life, then there is nothing stopping you but you. Go ahead, change that mentality. Take that first step and really change your life. Because if I can do it, then I promise you, so can you. I have been at my lowest of lows. I have given up. I am a normal person. I am no different than you. The only thing is that I just want something bad enough. I want to work hard enough, and I'm going to work hard enough until I make it real. So go ahead, take that chance, take that first step, and change your life. But with that said, today's quote is by the great Muhammad Ali. He once said, "Even the greatest was once a beginner. Don't be afraid to take that first step." I appreciate you tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And this is the Dowden Podcasts.